Hello and welcome to Tim's BMW repairs and information. Well, yeah, this could be a catastrophic engine failure. Yeah, my oil, as you can see, is on the ground here. Yeah, headed for work yesterday, got about half a mile and then got the low oil pressure warning. I thought that's blooming strange. Has the sensor gone wrong? Probably is. I'm in the middle of the A325, rush hour. You can't stop on the A325, you can't pull off of it. There's huge gutters in it. Yeah, I've seen so many cars disappear into that ditch there, so I can't stop there. The nearest place to stop is the road to Gretton, so unfortunately had to go about 500 yards with no oil pressure. Yeah, and where's my oil? Yeah, here's my oil. My oil started coming out here and it kept going for, we can see it all along the A325. You can see it through Birch Grove and Oak Tree Road. It absolutely poured out. So yeah, pulled over, stopped the car, phoned my wife. She brought up 6 litres of oil. I put 6 litres of oil in the car. Started it, it sounded like a diesel, but then settled down. I had to look underneath. The oil was coming all straight back out again, and it lost all 6 litres of that oil within about 20 seconds. So, yeah, so we've got 2 problems. First of all, we've got to sort where the oil is coming out. Have we popped a hole in the side of the crankcase? Yeah, I don't think that's a possibility. Possibility is we just had a hose burst somewhere, probably the return or the send to the oil cooler. But either way, there's quite a possibility that this engine has had it because it was run for 500 yards with no oil pressure. So anyway, yeah, not a great intro for you, I'm afraid. Rubbish, but we've got to get on with it really. I need the car back because I need to get to work on Monday. BMW parts store shuts at about 12 o'clock. Time 10:30, so yeah, no prevaricating, no great video editing or anything. We're going to have to get under that car and yeah, get covered with oil and try and work out what's gone wrong. Right, let's get on with it. Not going to get any good videography today, I'm afraid. You don't often get it when you're looking underneath a car anyway. I can tell you what I'm seeing at the moment. I'm seeing oil absolutely everywhere. Yeah, so yeah, RAC, yeah, 5 hours they said. Bloody hell, it's a mess up here. There's oil everywhere. Is it the... No, it can't be the alternator bracket. It was much too much oil for that. Yeah, it just looks like something's exploded in here. There's just stuff everywhere. Yeah, we've got an oil cooler at the front, oil cooler radiator at the front, and they have pipes with flexible sections on them. I think one of the pipes must have exploded. The problem is I can't see any evidence of anything exploded up here. And also, can I get to those blooming pipes? Right, though, the rest of it is held up by 8mm bolts. There's oil coming out of the cartridge, you know. Why the hell would it be coming out of there? So it's coming down the side of the... coming down the side of the oil filter cartridge. There's a distinct drip as the cartridge exploded. Well, I think it'd be noticeable if it had. It's definitely coming down the side of the cartridge though. Only a little bit, but why would it be coming from there? I've cleaned it off and it's coming straight back down again. Where the hell is that coming from? It's come from the sump somewhere? That is very strange. Yeah, it's a small amount, but it's quite distinct. So what is going on there? Yep, coming down again. Got a crack in the cartridge. I wouldn't have thought you could get a crack that big. I just think the plan is to get it off. Okay, so there's the oil fill cartridge, and you see just oil's coming down the side of it continuously. So what's going on in there? I mean, you can't actually see anything further up there. It's the cartridge failed, but I can't see that happening, for goodness sake. Thick old stuff there, no doubt, but it's certainly leaking like a sieve, isn't it? Yeah, that's just leaking all the time, that is. Be good news for us, of course, but I can't see it. That's crazy, isn't it? Let's get that out into the sun. We'll have a look at that. It would be marvellous if it was just a crack in the canister, wouldn't it? The oil filter canister. That would be very good news. Well, it's certainly coming out of it. Right, let's get the filter out. There we go, filter out. All the old oil out. Get the catcher underneath there. Right, let's have a look at this oil filter housing. It's definitely got a crack in it. That isn't the moulding line there. You can see it's a crack there. So I'm guessing when the oil pressure gets out, and it's got a reasonable capacity, what, about 3 inches, and if you're talking 50 psi, that's 150 pounds of pressure on that. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it opens up when the engine fires up. Yeah, that's not good, is it? And there you go, look, there's the hole. I know water's coming out everywhere. Probably got about 2 psi going through that. But there you go, that's how much water comes out of it. Yeah, do the same for oil, so yeah, that's probably enough. Especially when you're talking 50 psi, when I'm managing about 1. There it goes. There you go, that's quite impressive, isn't it? Right, well, I've cleaned up as much as possible underneath. Doesn't look too bad now. At least you can see that that's an aluminium cross member. That's something, isn't it? Or magnesium or something. Yeah, there was a lot of oil everywhere, wasn't there? Anyway, that's cleaned up. Back covers on, apart from where the cartridge goes in, of course. Filter cover. Yeah, that's a bit of a bear as well, especially the back bolts. That's got the heat shielding stuff on it. Yeah, they're not keen to go together. But they're together now, so that's ready for me to fit a new canister. Pressure washed the covers, but yeah, BMW's made them out of material that absorbs oil. Probably for the reason that if you get an oil leak, you don't see it. Well, unfortunately, when you do get an oil leak, it soaks it all up like a rag, and there's nothing you can do to get it out. Yeah, and there we go. That's the first day done. Yeah, I think that'll probably do for this video. So where are we? Well, we've worked out what the problem was. It's a crack in the filter housing. And it's really just luck that I found that, because I was cleaning everything off and I could see oil still dripping down there. And initially I thought, well, that can't be, it's only a tiny little crack. And then you realise, of course, it's up at about 50 psi. And when I put a couple of psi through it with the garden hose, it shoots out in a jet. And you can understand why it's all over the bottom covers of the engine, because it just shot it everywhere. Yeah, and when you lose 6 litres of oil in probably about 20 seconds, yeah, that is a lot of oil shooting out of that, that is for sure. Now, I had a bit of excitement while I was cleaning out all the oil from underneath the car. I found what looked like bits of casting, you know, the sort of bits of casting you'd find from the crankcase if a conrod had gone through it. Fortunately, they turned out to be stones, bits of grit off the road, so no panic there at all. So, okay, bottom covers are on, we know what the problem is, we've got the parts ordered. The question is, has the engine survived it? Now, the choice I made when it came up and said low oil pressure or no oil pressure, stop now, was, well, do I want to stop my car in the middle of the A325? And the answer is no, and you can't pull off because of the big gutters they have. Not only do they have a big ditch, but they have ones which come out into the road as well, and the rest of it's really high. And I've seen so many cars off the side of that where they've sort of broken down and thought, I'll just pull off. No, they disappear into the morass of the shooting ranges, I'm afraid. So there you go. So yeah, my decision was to keep going. I'd rather look after myself than the car. It's not that expensive a car, and it's only a car. I'd much rather get it somewhere safe and park it up. And that's exactly what I did. And fortunately, John McLaughlin was 45 minutes away, stuck it on the back of his low loader, put it in my drive, and being a nice bloke, he also winched it up on these ramps. So we put it in backwards right up to the bins, put the cable on it, pulled it up, pulled it over the ramps, and there we go, we're on the ramps now. So that's good. I wouldn't be able to do that without John. If we'd have used the RAC, we'd have been waiting there for 5 hours. Okay, so that's where we are. Bit of a disaster. I mean, the road, oh my goodness, I tried pressure washing the road and yeah, that's not coming off for about 6 or 7 months, I shouldn't think. We need a lot of torrential rain to get rid of that. My goodness, it looks a mess. Yeah, and it looks a mess all the way from here, all the way up Oak Tree Road, all the way down Lippock Road, and all the way down the A325, almost as far as Blackmore. So there you go, that's where we are. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.